I want to talk about I've heard a couple of people say some things about Drake, his position and where he currently sits. We see him and J. Cole. Joe Budden in specific spoke about the J. Cole pipe down thing, and I want to spend a little bit of time on that just to kind of clarify my stance and my position in regards to Drake, his trajectory and his career. A lot of people forget where you started from. A lot of people forget that them too disregarded you and overlooked you and never thought you would be a part of this whole thing of ours, right? So we'll look into that a little further, but let's listen to what Joe and them saying.
In this group of cars for me, some people say that I'm running third. They threw the bronze at me behind Drake and Dot. Yeah, them niggas is superstars to me. Maybe deep down I'm afraid of my luminosity. So when you see me on red carpets, I'm moving awkwardly, posing all nervous, afraid of the judgment. And the thought of showing too much of my day is repugnant. I be keeping my kids away from the gaze of the public, cause these days it feel like haters they favorite subject. Fuck it, attitude like a with an AK.
That boy is a monster now.
I bust it. I don't play when it come to family. That's one thing I
gonna kind of break this down with them, right? Again, we got to start to do this, and I want to let y'all know the importance of what I'm doing. The importance of what I'm doing is to show mainstream media the other side, the other perspective, the flip side of the coin. Stats that they don't consider, position that they don't consider, grind that they don't consider, right? So that's my position in the game, right? Not only to speak for the South, the North, the culture, but just to make sure the South is represented in a real way. Not from a standpoint of, hey, just because it's from the South, it's the better thing. But I think the problem, because we all black, so I wanna approach it with love. Because I wanna feel like it's a misunderstanding until it's just a little bit more clear. Cause I got enough game to know when it's a misunderstanding and when it ain't. But at this time, I'm trying to navigate around it, right? So we want to approach it with love, but we want to make sure the South is now represented in conversations, in check cutting, specifically in check cutting from a media standpoint. We want to make sure the South is represented, man. Not everybody down here dumb or slow or don't know what's going on, which y'all know that y'all dealing with us. Y'all dealing with Pete, Birdman, QC. Y'all dealt with JD Tip, Outkast. Y'all dealt with Pimp CJ Prince, Tony Draper. You know, you got to deal with us. You see what I'm saying? But let's continue.
I piss in the celebrity tea. God with me on this record, this is Heaven's EP. The tale's official. The best nigga breathing it just failed to hit you. You couldn't tell cause you fell for the bells and whistles, and nigga. And that's an area I don't excel. I'm from the Ville where young girls talk grown as hell. It's raw. Never saw one person go to Yale, but every nigga that I know done gone to jail at least once. Proving we the ones police hunt for the pains. We smoke 3 blunts. It's out.
Damn. Put some respect on him.
That's number 2 at least until further notice, man.
It's gracious.
Turn it down.
That nigga lost his fucking mind.
First of all, we need a wellness check on Jermaine. Has anyone seen him or heard from him? Been to his house?
He burnt up somewhere? He on fire?
He doesn't sound well.
Sound fine to me.
Sounds like things are wrong. What the hell is his issue? Whoa. See, now, if this were 2017, 18, 2019, maybe even 2020, I swear I would come in here and perpetuate a beef, even if it didn't exist.
Or 3 weeks ago?
Even if it didn't exist.
4 months ago.
I don't do that anymore.
Oh, okay.
I don't do that anymore.
Oh, good for you.
No,
look at the growth.
Damn.
I mean, it's not growth. All of these rappers are liars. I be dead ass right about every one of them, and then they come out and fucking tell me behind the scenes that I'm right.
I disagree with that.
That's what be.
And I'll tell you why. I don't think that Cole wants beef, even though I did see where he put the heads up. You know, I think Cole and Drake relationship has always been kind of a slippery thing. I think that relationship has always been a kind of slippery situation. You know, when if you remember when Drake first came in, they had the situation with what was that song? Him and Cole was going at each other. Then they did that in the morning with each other, and then we kind of said, "Oh, okay, so they is straight." Back then, I think Drake didn't really know his way with the music. He knew he had some, but he wasn't as polished. And Cole at that time was just a little more polished in his pocket than him. You know, the way he rumbles with the words and the breakdowns, the syllables and things, he could do that with ease. Drake was still trying to figure out the tone to sing in, how to approach these things, right? So Drake was kind of in a different situation, and it appeared that Cole was smashing. And then there was rumblings behind the scenes that the big dogs don't want Drake to go to the next level. They trying to smush him. But Drake still got on. But let's listen to a little more.
So if they never gonna cop to it, then I just look like the bad guy. Like I looked horrible in that whole Nicki Cardi thing. Even if I agreed with what I was saying, just looked bad. There was some more rappers that just blamed me for their beef. Like then that's what happens when the rappers make up. They blame me for perpetuating the beef. It's like, oh, come on, that's not fair, you guys. So I'm not gonna do that here, but I could. I mean, I could.
You're itching to.
It's in there.
I was about to say it's right there.
And you won't do it. Is Joe itching
I'm sorry.
to?
It's
Or
right
is
there.
he itching to?
He put it by the rim.
Yo, fam, in my day, let me tell you about 2003.
Here we go.
You could not take an album cut instrumental from somebody's album that dropped 1 or 2 weeks ago that they sung on, and you flame it up like this, and it go totally just like Another Day.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why you dealt with someone that only one song really went to the next level. Respectfully, Joe's a great communicator. I think he's even a good rapper. But you dealing with a syndrome. You're dealing with a syndrome up there, man. I don't know what that's about. That divide. Now, if it's New York against the rest of the world, then it appears to be that back then they used to kind of form together like Voltron. But then when you got intricate and broke it all the way down, somewhere down in the DNA, it's Fabulous being my homeboy can't take my beat and do a record or do a freestyle on it without me taking that away. And see, I get the competitive space, but for me, I don't if I think there's an issue, I want to approach the issue. Now, when you say competitive, I don't see that as competitive. If you want to do some rapping, say my name if I'm on that type time. But just taking the beat, doing the freestyle, talking to your people is, again, I think it has more to do with the way that these guys came up and the way they viewed this thing. I think some people view this hip hop culture more so as what it originated from, and they're failing to acknowledge the way that it has evolved. It used to be just on the corner, me against you, 1-on-1. It's still competitive, but the competitive space is a different space. You see, it ain't me and Future is cool and he drop a. Now, when you go to doing stuff like what Thug and Wayne was doing, now that's somebody that won't smoke. My album is Carter 5, yours is Barter 5 or Barter 6 or whatever. Like, that's somebody that's trying to tell you I won't smoke, competitive smoke with this. You understand me? But somebody just taking the beat, again, you got to know the DNA of the people you talking to and dealing with. Some of these boys is dealing with just a low vibration in regards to each one teach one. They don't hold that. I'm telling you, Joe Budden has pigeonholed his brand, man. He has literally pigeonholed his brand. Now, I think he's talented enough to still operate in that space, but he pigeonholed his brand. I see him at some point making that right with them boys and bringing them back, cutting them a check, getting that under the bridge, and then rejuvenate that part, because right now his brand is pigeonholed. They won't call him for verses. He can't. They're not gonna send Drake through there to sit down. They're not like you only got what Joe can give you over there, and I think that was a mistake. I think it happened without him knowing it, because it wasn't that way a year ago, 2 years ago, 18 months ago. It wasn't that way. His brand has changed into something that he has literally pigeonholed himself into only being able to provide that commentary that people go to him for. Now, you got to be able to collaborate with other brands, bro. That's only way this works. If Diddy never went in, if Diddy never went and hollered at whatever liquor company he started with, or if Jay never, like, it's rough like that, you can do it that way. It's just a different fight. And for me, you had such a head start, meaning Joe Budden Podcast, as the brand had such a head start on the market, to place yourself back in that race was, man, that was crazy. But let's listen to a little more, man. We'll get into it a little more.
It's not possible. That could not happen.
He posted, I think. Drake posted, I think.
I don't care what Drake
I know, I'm just saying.
What the fuck you telling me for what he posted?
You're comparing how people reacted then to how people react now. Yeah.
I would post it too back in the day, but it would be something to follow.
I'm about to say, it wouldn't stay like that, though.
Now,
when I
you're right.
post,
I'm aware that it's Uncle Joe time. I might be disconnected from how they receive these things today. Today, it might be adoration.
You're not disconnected with how they receive it. You're disconnected in the issue that caused New York to have to pass the ball, because the culture is going to continue to move. Now, New York will never fully pass the ball because it's New York. But New York was in control of music. But this spirit right here lends itself to some of the failures that you see. When you see 50 Cent blow up like that and nobody in New York can work with him. He's the hottest thing going. New York is split down the middle. Some is trying to help rejuvenate Ja. Some is trying to act like them and 50 is straight, because he's popping corn right now. And others is acting like they don't see the beat. Like, it just, you feel me? But take that same scenario. Look down at Future in Atlanta. You see him still do songs with Gucci, still do songs with Thug, still do records with Drake. Still, like, it's a different atmosphere. It's a different spirit. The culture has evolved.
It might be these people are flattered, like a compliment today.
Right. I think it's contingent upon a relationship. It's like you put your shit out, right? Fab calls you and says, "Yo, I want to get on that beat. I'm gonna kill it." You're not gonna take it no type of way, because Fab is your family.
No, that's not. See, no, that's not true. As close as Fab and I were, I think him and I knew that there were certain lines that we should stay clear of.
Even if he called you first? No, I'm saying even if he called you first.
But I think that was
I already spoke about that. Why is it so important for you to prove you're better than me with words? I don't understand that. The goal is the money. Joe Budden is speaking from, you got to really understand what was going on with Joe Budden with that mindset. And I like to examine people. You know, I take folks and make them case studies of mine, because I think all great men studied great men and great books and great literature and history. These are my beliefs. This is my understanding, right? So when I look at dude, I say to myself, in that situation right there, saying Fab, who at that time would have been the bigger artist, if not by much, let's say some people in 2004, 05 would say Joe and Fab was kind of closer than we view them now in regards to rapping. Let's just say that. The idea that that's your mindset, you're broke. How can you not have any money in a business where rapping gets you money, not want to rap with the people that's getting money in the rap business, but want to compete with them? Me against you. Me against you. Me against you. It's weird. It's me against the ops. The ops is the haters. The ops is the haters. And in this business, there's no permanent enemies or friends. So I don't even look at you little dudes like nothing until somebody get wrong, and then we had to bump into each other. You know what I'm saying? But anything other than that, there's no permanent enemies in this business. I don't know these dudes like that. But when we talk about opportunities in how to make money, and I pigeonhole myself, he has this problem. Pigeonhole itself.